Hello and welcome back to another episode of Mangusto Garage. Again on the 2 litre Capri, looking for the restoration. In this episode we're going to be doing the wing fitment and also repairs to the floor due to some cracking. So I hope you enjoy it. So here's another thing, boys and girls, about having rock hard suspension and Recaro seats, which have little give. Not suggesting that the owner is a large gentleman, but he has a bit of bulk, I'll give him that. But all 4 seat points, as you can see, have cracked. Now on 2.8 injections, if my memory serves right, they have a reinforcing plate which is just, I think it's glued on or something. So what I'm going to do with this is, as you can see, I've started welding the crack up, and I'm going to make a piece to fit over it of 1 mil, 1.5 mil, and also weld around that so it's got like double the strength, because yeah, this has got rock hard suspension. So there we go, another little bit of fun added to the project so far. So we have the pieces welded in, seamed all the way around. I welded up the cracks and then put this supporting piece on, which is like 1 mil, 1.5 mil, about 1.25 mil steel. Welded it all the way around, obviously left the hole for the seat bolt, and then 4 plugs as well, just to give it and I've done the same on the other side, and this was the worst one. So everything should be tickety-boo, seamed all the way around again, and then 4 plugs. So if that breaks, then yeah, I give up. Now boys and girls, I've got to stop saying that, that sounds quite crap. Yes, so it's time to put the wing on. The way I do it, again, with any of this stuff, my repairs, my welding, on my way, just the way I do things. I'm not saying it's exact and everyone should do it. Everyone's got their own way of doing stuff, but I just tell you what works for me. So what I do when fitting wings is, first things, obviously get the door on. You know, if you got to take the door off to get a wing off, to get it off there properly. So yeah, get your new door on, because this is a new one, because the other one was rusty along the bottom. Now let's talk about wings. I've got to fit the bonnet to get the wing gap right. Yeah, so you get the lines. Yeah, we know the bonnet fits the other side because it's the original one off the car, and da. So that's, all the lines are good there. But I'm just waiting. It's a little bit difficult putting bonnets on your own, although I have done it in the past. I'm just waiting for my better half to come back so she can help me fit the bonnet, and then I'm going to offer the wing up. Now let's talk about wings. Certainly Mark III Capri wings. Now, genuine Ford wings, I've fitted hundreds of wings, aftermarket, second-hand aftermarket, genuine Ford, new ones, all sorts of different makes and marks. Now, the fallacy that, oh, it's a genuine Ford wing, so it's going to fit perfectly, it's just not, it's not true, okay? A lot of the, well, they're probably mostly used up now. There's still a few floating around, usually about £1,000 each, aren't they, or something like that. A lot of these are new old stock wings that were from the parts bin, and they went in the parts bin. Oh, hello, Winnie, workshop manager. Better just let him in. There we go. This is what we call real YouTube. So yeah, the new old stock Ford wings, a lot of them, if you imagine you were on the production line and you had a wing and you offered it up and all the gaps were a mile out because of that wing wasn't tooled exactly right, or whatever, that just went in the parts bin. Okay, so don't kid yourself. You know, sometimes you know, the wings, the new old stock wings that are still available, they're not saying they're going to fit. They might be a bit better, but they don't, not always. And I found that out the hard way after people have paid a lot of money for wings. The aftermarket wings, I believe, have got a bit better recently, but again, I haven't fitted a aftermarket Mark III wing for a few years now. Most of my stuff's been Mark 1 and Mark 2s, yeah. So the only way to actually be certain that it's a good fitting wing is to use a second-hand one, and preferably one you've got off a car yourself. So, ta-da! This is off one car that didn't make the channel because it was a 2-litre S or 16S. It was one I bought over here in Europe, and unfortunately it had been in a bit of a heavy front ender, and the chassis leg was, well, not exactly straight, put it that way. So yeah, it was touch and go whether it was savable, because it needed sills, arches, boot floor had gone, the rear of the floors had gone, and then yeah, by the time we saw the chassis leg was going west, then yeah, that's it. But it did go on to save a couple more cars. The rear quarters were good, other than the arch lip, which went on to a very special car, which I shall hopefully do an episode on a little later. And no, it's not S00. And then obviously I've had a wing for Mark. So let's have a look at what makes a genuine Ford wing. I believe halfway down the wing there's some numbers usually on the wing rail, but the big giveaway is that piece. Now the aftermarket wings don't have that. That said, Weng wings, which I fitted, and are absolute, well, they're as good as these. Some people even think that Weng made the wings for Ford. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But yeah, the Weng wings had this piece in as well. So maybe they did. I don't know. But I have fitted quite a few Weng wings. They've all been used up now. Weng haven't made wings for Mark IIIs for 30 years. Yeah, maybe 30 years. So the only way to be sure is to fit a used one. As I say, I cut this off myself, so I know it's a very good fitting wing. You know, it's still got, look at all that stone chippy stuff, you know, the stone chippy stuff. I wish we could still buy this that went on that thick and gave this sort of rubberized effect. I mean, look at that. It's about half an inch thick. It's fantastic. It actually worked on this one as well. I shall give it a bit more of a scrub off, get some of this dirt off it, and then when the bonnet's here and on, we shall offer it up, and I shall show you a few little tricks to make sure that that you can get a good fitment on your wing. But yeah, so there's a little bit of history about Mark III wings, for those of you that haven't fallen asleep. Yeah, so it'd be the fitment next. So with the bonnet on, to line the new wing that we're going to put on, a few things you got to obviously, you know, take into consideration. This line at the back, okay, these lines here, yeah, but as we can see, that gap is pretty uniform all the way along. And then you've got this line here, this gap, folga as it is in Portuguese, and then you've got how far forward, and as you can see, this is pretty spanking. So this is why this car is all original panels. Although that said, sometimes Ford didn't get it right. I've seen some Mark 1 and Mark 2 Capris that have never been touched, and some of the panel gaps are absolutely ridiculous. But there we go. So yeah, by the time they start making them in Germany, they got them a little bit more exact. So we're now ready to offer up the wing, and hopefully get the gaps as good as it is that side. So the wing preparation installation is complete, and I'm pretty damn happy with the lines. Exact there and exact the level. So yeah, that's always a problem. All around here is very good. Where it joins, I've got the 3 bolts in 3 screws I should say, in the screw into the wing. We got nice exact line, even the bottom finishes in the right place, so that's all very good. At the back, the gap does look like it's a little bigger, but if you notice here, the wing is a little lower. Now that's probably due to how it's been stored, but if you notice, and a lot of people worry about because the gap at the back, so if you can see, I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up because I'm being a bit pedantic, but so when you lift the back of the wing up, so when we weld it onto the A pillar, because it is a little low now, the swage line is a little lower than the door, and obviously the height here is only a mil and a bit, maybe 2 mil, but when you lift it up, it does, you see that? It closes the gap. I don't know if this camera's picking it up quite, but yeah, it's just closed the gap, which makes that line pretty damn equal all the way down. So we're pretty happy with that. So I'm going to get it welded up along the wing rail, and there, and obviously there, and that's it. Then it's door back off and weld it up down the A pillar and the spot welds along the bottom. So yeah, so that's a pretty damn good fitting wing. But like I said, it was off a car that I knew, so yeah, that sort of helps. Let's say genuine forward wings are great, but if you can find a good second-hand one, usually better, because you know that they've actually fitted properly. So there we go. So wing welded on, pretty damn good fit, as you can see. Nice even, welded in there obviously, and look at that line. And if you remember from the last little snippet, the gap was a little larger at the back, but as you can see, that's came in lovely now, and it's all equal all the way down. Obviously I took the door off so I can get in there, so yeah, stitch welded in there and then along there. Just opened the bonnet, managed to get plenty of spot welds on it, and as I do, I always put a couple of plug welds in it as well. Hello. So yeah, so if I just my assistant seems to be on strike at the moment. So yes, so there was the repair there. Other than a couple of little anomalies, but I did plug weld it on the rail as well, because spot welding old steel is good. It's not always that strong, so I tend to get two lots plug weld and spot. But yeah, I think you'll agree that that's come out pretty good. So just going to mask it up now and get a bit of primer on it. So the wing has been successfully installed, as you can see, and yeah, we just put a bit of paint on there. See, it looks absolutely lovely. The more astute of you will notice that the engine bay has been partially stripped. So this is an engine bay respray, or just a tart up really. Yeah, ideally it would be better with the engine bay out, but I ain't got time really to do that at the moment, and yeah, we knowing Mark, it'll probably be filthy again within a couple of months. So yeah, the doors have been prepped, 2 replacement doors. My god, there's another Capri. And yeah, they've all been painted on the frames and the interior, as you can see. So the car will be going away for paint. I don't have the conditions here to paint it. There's the bonnet. And yeah, so it's all pretty good. The roof has had a second coat of primer, and yeah, pretty happy with how that's come out. The fact that the sunroof works is stunning. So yeah, so I'm going to paint the engine bay, and then I'll give you a quick glimpse of that, and yeah, stay out for a minute. So here we have the engine bay painted. Nice and shiny and black. A few little bits of shit in it. That's to be expected. It's not exactly a spray booth in here, but yeah, it's nice and clean and sharp. Replaced some of the rusty nuts and bolts and hose clips and stuff for slightly better stuff. So we're just gonna fit it up, and yeah, I've got to put the screen back in it, a bumper on it and stuff like that. And then it's going up to the paint shop for paint, so we shall see what it looks like after that. So this will be the last snippet of this episode, I would imagine, and then the next one will be when it comes back from paint for the refit.